I just said thank you 50,000 times. Don't believe me? Why don't you play that back at 0.00001 speed? Thank you truly though for 50k subs. It's pretty awesome.
That's big. Congrats, Gunner.
Against the entire population of Atlantic City, New Jersey.
Gunner's
they had that
killing
one
it.
But content houses, the lucrative business model of the 21st century that promises aspiring teenage influencers fame success with just one trade-off. You have to live in a giant fucking mansion and make TikToks. At least that's what it looks like on the surface. Silly spoiled children and your silly spoiled dreams. However, this shady business goes deeper than one might expect, with the same industry players causing problems time and time again for everyone involved, often ending in a house's ultimate demise. Today we're answering the question, why do all content houses fail? Or at least most of them. I wasn't going to get your attention by titling the video, why do 98% of content houses fail?
They all fail though. I can't think of any that
back off. Just, not off the video. Keep watching.
In the world of social media.
I'm going to speculate before Gunner gives us this scientific explanation. I think the reason the content houses fail is because the influencers living there eventually just get tired of being around each other and move out, and it fizzles out. A slow bleed. The Sidemen survived? Yeah, true. Okay, fair. But that's more of like a content group, not just like a central content house, I would argue. I'd say Sidemen transcend just a house. Same with OTK. Again, OTK is more than just a house. They're like a full group. Like, I wouldn't ever say those are content houses. They're just content teams. When I think of content house, I think of like Hype House, Team... Was it Team 7? Or was that the group that made Worms? What was Jake Paul's group called? Team what? Team what? Team 10. Yeah. Team 10. Cloud House. What was that really fucking stinky TikTok one that wasn't the Hype House? It was the other one. That was like the Bryce Hall group or some shit. What were they? They had like a whole reality show. Sway? Was it Sway House? I don't remember. But yeah, I think the reason all that shit fails is just egos clashing and they eventually just get tired of being around each other.
Say I'm an asshole. Basically are saying take it until, a tragedy happens, which is going to happen here.
Well, that guy was wrong. Still no tragedies. Except for the fact that they still exist, I guess.
Little trailer action. I've never done that one before. I'm personally fired up. And me right now, I haven't even made the video yet. I hope future Gunner delivers on that shit.
Fucking trying, man.
The idea of content houses is nothing new. Just look at Team 10, Hype House, Sway House, Clubhouse. The Sway House, unfortunately, launched and still tries to sell Sway pre-workout products as if the house is still running. Boys, I hate to break it to you, but I don't think people are going to buy from a brand that's based on you guys living together when you guys don't live together. Also, your fan base are little girls.
They're definitely still buying.
Energy bars, sheesh. With that said, let's meet Tyler Pauly.
Tyler, thank you for coming today. It's an honor to have you. Oh my God, who put that there? How did that? I'm so sorry.
I don't see anyone else here.
It wasn't me. That's really embarrassing. I hope we can get.
Don't feel embarrassed. Don't feel embarrassed.
He looks like Machine Gun Kelly.
We'll move forward.
But
like, a little bump in the road.
You were one of the founding members.
The parties, the trash, the neighbors. I left before that. Way before that.
Also, real quick, question in the chat. I noticed this tattoo on a bunch of dudes these days. I actually think it's a pretty cool tattoo, but what does it mean? Why do so many dudes get this forearm tattoo that's just like a dark tree? What is it? Where did that come from? I first started noticing it like 5 years ago, and it's still getting just more and more popular. Cock veins, I guess? Veiny cock vein. Well, like, so it started because of cock veins? That's how it got popular? I mean, I know it's a tree and shit. Like, I'm not confused at what I'm looking at. I'm just wondering, like, why, who made it popular? But it does look fine. Like, I actually think it's a cool design. I was just wondering.
My household raised me differently from others' households. So it's like, it's a huge equation for disaster because it's just a bunch of us young, reckless kids living in a nice house, doing all this cool shit.
You made it to LA,
pretty
kid.
Cool.
This is your moment. It's time to shine. Let's ruin the neighbor's day.
Jeff and his wife live directly next door and say night and day they're dealing with large gatherings, loud pool parties, and non-permitted film shoots. Cars constantly speed up and down outside their home, and their Nest Cam captures the parties spilling into the street, partygoers drinking, getting intimate, and even defecating.
The girl who squats in the street starts to pee, so that's always good.
Well, that's not defecating, that's urinating. What kind of fucking clickbait is this? The news lady said defecating. That means fucking shitting, not tinkling. I hate false advertising. Unbelievable. Amber Heard showed up. True. Dropped a little Amber turd.
I used to
literally 7:38 in the morning.
This could have all been avoided if they just invited that guy.
Years, And
Seems
said
like he
now
wanted to
every
go.
morning she finds used condoms outside her house.
Okay, even my empathetic party self is feeling pretty bad for the neighbors at this point. 9 consecutive nights of partying? Even people that went to both weekends of Coachella are wincing at that. But once again, you
That's a
understand the
lot. That's
culture
like
of the
biblical.
Content
Like
House
40
is to get
days,
as
40
many
nights of rain.
collaborative TikToks and videos as
But with
possible. So it only
partying.
makes sense that the new
I got bit by rats from their place and had to go home early to Seattle because I was gonna get rat bite fever.
Of course, the house tried to deny these claims for PR sake, but it didn't help when one Drip Crib member uploaded a TikTok with a dead rat visible in the pool behind it.
When we visited the house, one of the young men seen
Fuck
in the videos
yeah.
came out at one point.
Hey, stunt
and when
rat.
asked about the parties,
It was
said there
acting.
had been none, and that, quote, we're just kids.
And I think that statement kind of says it all. They're just kids. They're really, really stupid, them. And then you also have the influencers and the content house manager that represents them. For the Hype House, this is Thomas Petro. For the
Hey,
Clubhouse,
Thomas.
this was Daisy Keach. And for
Hey,
the Drip
Daisy.
Crib, this was a guy named Devion Young. The sole
Hey, Devion.
biggest thing that can bring down a content house is having the wrong person in this position. And oh boy, is Devion Young a case study on being a bad pick.
We have a whole bunch of Karens and racist neighbors. They have threatened us with violence, which is on, online. The videos are out there. They threatened to
Can I
kill us,
see
and
one?
made racist comments. They verbally assaulted us, and they physically assaulted us. They've even sprayed water from a water hose at us. So you guys have to do your homework before you guys believe stuff that random people say on the internet.
Right, okay, so interesting
So we'll
strategy here.
take
Don't
his
take
word for it.
accountability.
A random
Instead,
person on the
flip
internet.
it and blame the neighbors for being mad at you about the continuous parties and actually claim that they physically assaulted you. You know how I can tell he's lying and his neighbors didn't actually assault him is that, remember, this is what they looked like. They're all over 70. If grandpa and grandma here were to attack you, you could end their life with a single karate chop. They even
You don't know that. Hold on a second. Let's not be selling Jeff Oken short here. That guy looks like he's seen the birth of the universe. This guy's been around the block. That man could throw some lunchbox hands, no doubt in my goddamn mind. He actually reminds me of my neighbor back when I was a kid. When I was a child, my parents had these neighbors that were fucking crazy. They always dressed in pure white, and they'd go outside in like a white mask and everything to get their mail in the mailbox, and they would only ever leave their house via taxi in the early mornings and come back at the late nights. But it was fucking cool. They looked pretty much like that guy. So that's pretty... It might even be this guy. So that's pretty nostalgic. KKK. No, it wasn't like white hoods. Like, when I say mask, I mean like a half mask. Like what people wore, like still wear out in public. That's what they would wear over their face. Like for dust or something. Because they'd sweep their driveway really often. Yeah, they're fucking wild. That's a cult. It might have been part of a cult, I couldn't tell you. But it looked pretty much just like that.
Sometimes they spray us with water.
Oh, okay. So they hosed you down with the nozzle set to light sun shower drizzle mode. Not exactly the high pressure crowd control hose I was envisioning, but okay. But yeah, no,
It's
just
pretty
call
much
them
the same,
racist
to be
and
honest.
don't show any video proof. But say the videos are definitely out there somewhere online. You know, you can do the research, you can find it. Despite Jeff here seeming quite reasonable.
And we're for them. We want them to get sponsors and make gazillions of dollars,
Oh.
but we're not for them doing it at everybody's expense.
So who is Devion?
What a nice
What's his
guy.
background and age? Outside of that, from what Tyler tells me, Devion was a management nightmare for the house from the very beginning.
You had mentioned before that the house was supposed to be ready at a certain date, and it just wasn't, right?
Yeah, so he was like, you need to be here by this date for the house. Me and my best friend drove in a Honda Civic, like a two-door Honda Civic with a 5x8 U-Haul behind us with both of our bedrooms packed into it. Across the country, last minute notice to make this happen, to be there by this date. We get there and he's like, yeah, the house isn't gonna be ready for like another month. So he slaps us in Studio
Aw.
City, 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 5 of us in there. And then we all shared this bathroom for an entire month.
It's never a great
Jesus
sign to be
Christ.
having major house.
And it basically stated like, you're gonna pay $2K a month to be a part of this house, and that covers your rent, and within all of that, it's gonna cover PR services, it's gonna cover
What?
for brand deals. Like, it was just supposed to be like an all-inclusive payment for
What
us.
do you need as a TikToker for a PR service? On TikTok, you don't even have to like apologize. You just keep posting shit and people will just forget. That's like the least important position imaginable, I think. Damn, these guys just got hosed. Devion was squeezing them.
Your big butt hurt.
Hear that out loud again. They all already spent $2,000 on the assumption that they were going to be getting their own rooms just to show up, have Devion take the master suite, and put the rest of them in shared rooms and closets. This is a good first example of how managers try to lock influencers into contracts with no promise of delivery.
What was the delivery on the brand deals?
Nothing.
Hey, so you weren't happy? What?
I didn't make $1 from him.
Man, what the fuck?
$8,000 or so that I sent to him for rent, down the drain. I kind of cracked down on Devion and I had a conversation with him and I was like, yo, like if you can't do a simple like task of bringing me a couple $100s worth of a brand deal in this month, I was like, I'm not going to be able to pay you rent for next month. And he literally looks at me, eye contact, he's like, I don't know what to tell you. And I was like, all right.
So put yourself in Tyler's Gucci flip-flops for a second. You rushed out to LA just to share a...
Damn. So people will literally just give money to a complete stranger like that under the pretense that they're gonna get clout. Because Devion doesn't even have like a strong following based on the pictures Gunner pulled up. Man just like said, hey, give me $2,000 a month and I'll bring you fucking Heelys laser beams from your eyes and you'll work with Coca-Cola. And then he just buys a mansion with it to live in for himself. Kids do. Yeah, I guess that's just like the TikTok crowd. So he was getting $2,000 a month from all 5 of them. That's not pennies.
Tyler firmly believes that Devion put the whole house together in the first place to have them help promote his music career and other
Did it
endeavors,
work?
and not so much caring about the brand deals. Which, by the way, is totally okay. Just don't make them all sign contracts promising to be anything more than a roommate that just happens to be responsible for collecting rent. However,
let's see. Did that strategy work? So he got some money, but did he suckle from the coveted titty of clout? What was his name? Big Mansion album release party in LA. Swipe for more info. Just dropped my debut major EP prelude to my album. It's got 100,000 streams in 12 hours. Link in the bio. Okay. I'm assuming it's on like his website, iamdevion.com. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Okay, so we'll go to iamdevion. His biggest song has 500k streams. That's pretty good. It's Ice Gang. So the scamming, I guess, helped? I don't know, man. He has 8,000 monthly listeners. That's pretty good. I guess. He scammed a bunch of young TikTokers and got 8,000 listeners. Play it? No, I don't want to play it. This is the kind of guy that would absolutely try and get, like, DMCA out here.
Now, a talent agency is the head honcho. They basically manage the connections between the influencers and the brands they work with. Basically what Devion said he was going to do for the Drip Crib members. Typically, they work on an individual level with a client, but these content houses were an opportunity that simply couldn't be ignored. What if I could get all of these idiots signed underneath my agency collectively? This idea brought many new opportunistic faces to the table. Take Amir Ben Yohanan, for instance, the 48-year-old man who owned the media group behind the Clubhouse, whose apparently only known picture on the internet is this photo. The fuck? To quote Amir, he thought of TikTok as kids messing around and looked down on it. But
how did he secure all of those big TikTokers?
His children were with the world, he decided he wanted to cash in on what he saw as a modern-day gold rush.
Swear to God,
he would
I'm not
later have
Dan
allegations made against. One member claimed in response to telling him that they felt overworked, he said, "You guys are probably on your period," which is so bad. Imagine you send your 15-year-old daughter out to LA to make it big, and suddenly she's being yelled at by a 48-year-old man named Amir Ben Yohanan. Again, only picture of him that exists on the internet for not making enough content. And actually, her being upset is because she has a vagina. Look, honey, we got a schedule to stay on top of, okay? You're not overworked or overstressed. You're probably just on your menstrual cycle.
Thanks, Resub Aman.
But the content cycle stops for nobody. Now make me some goddamn TikToks. I want to start a new internet trend called the Amir Challenge, where if you unjustly upset a woman this week, I want you to look her into the eyes and say, did I really do something wrong, or is it just that time of the month again? And it should, I think, go over really well for you every time, I think. Now, while
probably pretty effective
is
strategy,
typically
honestly.
in the business of Brittany Broski, who went mega viral for her kombucha tasting TikTok, was approached by Ari, allegedly DMing her, "Have you made any money?" I'll translate to malicious talent agency language. That means, how much of that shit can I take? Brittany ended up signing a contract with Ariana, and 9 months later realized that she wasn't getting paid from any of her brand deals. She would go on to say that Ari was withholding some $23,000 in fees, and that she was even squatting on her domain, BrittanyBroski.com.
What a good
one
name.
of the housemates.
Virtual squatting. Yeah, they're it's a very common thing. People snatch up domains just so that way, like, when a company or business might need it, they have to pay that person for it. So it's been around since the beginning of the .coms. Thanks to give some paleo. Someone squatted on the Moist Esports Twitter not long ago, if you guys remember that, and then tried to get a lot of money out of me for it, but I just didn't care enough, so I just said I'll just make a different one. And then he eventually just said, fuck, fine, sorry, I just wanted money. I'm a college student. I was like, that's fine, bro, here's $100. So now we have the official Moist Esports one.
When the house ended, the girls did this to the walls on their way out, which...
Let me take a peek. Oh, that definitely violates their NDA. That was probably like rule number 1 of the NDA. You can't say anything mean about Ari. Come on now. And who is this? That's not Ari. She doesn't look like that. Grow up.
Now, Ariana Jacob blames this article for the fall of her business and losing all 85 of her clients. She denies damn near every claim made in the article, going as far as to sue the New York Times for $6.2 million.
Damn, she sounds miserable.
Lawsuit. Your Honor, people are only upset at me because I'm a visionary. And they're probably all in their periods anyway. Amir chimed in. Ariana Jacob's Instagram bio now reads, kindness and empathy are #1. Cancel culture sucks? Rise above it. Ariana, you lost all 85 of your clients. Do you think maybe the problem might be internal? That no one stuck with you or spoke up against this article's publication? But no, just ignore that. Maybe Tucker Carlson can help you win that fight against those liberal cucks at the New York Times while you figure that one out.
She did have a lot of kindness to distribute.
So why do all content houses fail? Well, it simply comes down to poor picks of management at the house and agency level. Look, I contemplated putting a big section together with my prescriptions on the different content house models and how a manager could optimally put a house together, making it proper.
Real quick, is Tucker Carlson the guy that just made that video about dudes' testicles being tanned, making you more of a man? But it just ended up basically being porn? It is? That was him? Nice. That was fake? Was it fake? I don't know a whole lot about it. It may very well have been fake. But I saw like the trailer for it. They just had like a bunch of naked dudes tanning their nuts. There was one where I'm pretty sure the guy's legs were like over his head with his nuts towards the sun or something. It was crazy. It was real? I don't know. Again, I don't know too much about it. I just saw the like little clips.
Here's Tyler's advice on if you're looking to join a startup house.
If you get the opportunity, personally, this opportunity put me in a position to where I'm at now that I'm like very grateful for. So like, you know, don't be afraid to take the risk, but at the same time, know what you're getting yourself into, know who you're working with, realistically.
Well, Tyler, it was great to have you. Thanks for coming on, really appreciate it. I do have one more thing for you. I need you to sign this NDA. Just your standard NDA.
What? There's nothing crazy?
Just, you know, that we can use your image and likeness.
Thanks
you can never talk shit about me legally.
Okay.
That a man named Esteban from Mexico City can also legally snap your kneecaps if you say my name even once. Sign right there. Yep, great. That's perfect.
Hollywood, baby.
No, we'll just photocopy it.
It looks like a pretty hefty NDA. I mean, I don't really have time to look through this shit anyways.
No, yeah, of course. Influencers don't.
Huge shout out to Tyler Pauly for helping out with this video.
That was nice of him to do that, though, for sure.
That he didn't have to, so please go show him some support at Tyler Pauly on Instagram. I'm sure he'd appreciate it. Once again, for the full, much longer interview with Tyler, it'll be posted to my Patreon for all member tiers to watch. At the time of this video's release, if it's not up now, it will be very shortly. Subscribe and follow me at Gunner Klein on Instagram to apply to join my content house called The Gunner House. And no, I'm not open to changing the name.
Another banger. Good shit, Gunner. Let's ride.
Alright.
You can hop on the couch if you want, Caleb.
Can I hop on the lab?
We're watching a guy go wild.
I have a challenge for all of you. Go to every computer in your house. Your
How did I get an ad?
Your sister, your brother's computer, and install.
I love you, Mr. Beast, but I'm skipping that ad.
Everyone. I'm the act attorney here. What a pleasure it is to meet all of you today. I am so thrilled and excited. Never gonna be doing something like that again.
You guys literally sound like
abuse victims, right?
So I would say this game is for somebody they have no family, no friends, no life. I'm not sorry. I don't like Elden Ring players. They're nasty people. The players are losers. And you want to literally just start rolling with all these claims and accusations.
I'm sure he'll cover it, but I'll still give you like a brief overview. So this all started because this guy made a video saying like Elden Ring sucks or something, and he hates everyone that plays Elden Ring. So Actman made a video about like the worst take in Elden Ring.
Yeah.
And this guy got so offended he like copyright struck him or tried to like abuse copyright, and it didn't work, and he went on like some kind of like crazy religious meltdown and made like thousands of fucking posts. It was wild.
Look at what you're doing.
God, this editing is next level. Whoa.
Don't cry for me. I'm already dead.
Maybe that's why you don't have a ring on your finger. Maybe that's why your kids aren't around you. Because maybe there's something wrong with you. At the end of the day, go kill yourself. Because maybe there's something wrong with you.
The game that's not for everyone isn't the game that should be hated.
Maybe there's something wrong with you. Maybe there's something wrong with you. Something wrong with you. Maybe there's some.
Whoa, hold on.
Going too fast.
Maybe there's
We're
something wrong
blasting
with
right
you.
through the lore.
Maybe there's.
Man, this guy really does say literally a lot, even when texting. You literally stole my video footage with an illegal video downloader. Bro, I guarantee you just used OBS to screen record it. Take this video down and remake it with all the stolen footage and without my likeness in your thumbnail. I own the sole copyright to the Quantum TV brand and all its imagery assets. Failure to remove the stolen content will result in a takedown. I've already formally filed against you, but don't want to copyright strike you. I just want my assets removed, so I'm giving you a heads up. I don't mind criticism, just don't go stealing videos from my channel. That isn't going to fly. It's a violation of YouTube terms of service to use third-party software to acquire someone's videos, and you're risking your channel with stunts like this. Only warning, man.
Only a warning.
Damn it. This guy's going in. This guy's like literally fucking butts right now with copyright.
What a douche canoe.
Yeah. Wrong with you. Maybe there's something wrong with you.
That's fine. It wasn't.
Yeah, it was Facebook.
I show you just how deep the rabbit hole goes. Court is now
Whoa,
in session.
shit.
A false
The fuck
copyright
is that
strike
rolling
and
up like a
takedown
prom?
request was recently filed against my channel. Take a guess by who? Nat Haas. Nope. Derek Savage. Nope. Quantum TV.
You guys want to have your fun with Quantum TV? Have your fun at this point. I mean, I'm kind of amused by this. I'm not gonna lie.
So you think it's funny?
What is his name here? The Act Man? Never heard of you. And we're going to go over your so-called hot takes, which contains a lot of stolen
The music
footage.
kinda
And
slaps.
which, by the way, I'll look into my options around getting that taken down.
Any further attempts to falsely copyright strike my channel will be met with a counter lawsuit in which I will clean you out.
When you start talking fair use, you were
That's pretty
opening
hard
your
line
back
stance.
because You were telling the copyright
And I like
owner,
his odds.
Fuck you.
Mudahar made a great video summing up the ramifications and what is actually at stake.
Again, once you file this claim, somebody else can counterclaim you, and then it becomes a legal issue. If it turns out that you're
True.
actually abusing this for your own benefit, just
I
a
am
high
curious. Do you think a
criticism-
case has ever actually gone to court though for delegation? I feel like it never does, even if you
feel
do
like it
counter.
doesn't either.
Like they say it's supposed to be a legal matter, but it almost never is. It's usually just like, oh, I got countered.
Yeah.
I'll just counter again.
Yeah.
And then you counter again and again and again through YouTube.
Oh yeah, I guess H3H3's did. That's true.
But his was off platform. Like after the strike, he immediately went to court, I think.
Well, yeah, that's all it says when you counter. It doesn't. It's not like YouTube hosts it. It tells you.
I see,
Like
I
your
see.
next step is to file a claim.
Do you remember? We can share this story now, right? Like
The Pizza Hut one?
Yeah, the statute of limitations is probably expired.
Yeah, I think we're good.
This fucking guy. You may remember a long time ago on my channel, I had a video making fun of the Pizza Hut training video from the 80s. One fucking dude, he was a cameraman who filmed that, took down the video and threatened legal action because he said he had the rights to everything Pizza Hut related to that fucking video because he held the camera.
That was literally like my first week that I worked with you.
Yep.
And you were like, "Hey, can you handle this guy?" And he was like 95 years
Oh
old.
my, the dude, he had a website that was straight GeoCities.
Oh yeah. What was it was straight up Zynga, like that old school, like neon lines running across it. It was so bad.
God, that guy was an absolute nightmare. I immediately just folded. I was like, bro, I will just take down the video.
Yeah,
just get
it
rid of the
wasn't worth it.
Yeah, just get rid of the strike. I'll take the video down. He's like, nope.
Oh,
nope.
it
I
was
will
so
not do
fucking
that.
stupid. We should put the video back up and take him to court if he tries to do it again.
Yeah, fuck, man, fuck that guy. He doesn't own Pizza Hut. He
No,
held a camera.
He cannot prove that that's his.
He
because
is.
It's not.
He is pretending to be the owner of the
Oh.
Pizza Hut footage just because he was one of the camera guys.
Yeah, we're not scared anymore. We were new back then.
Yeah.
We'll take him all the way.
I was just too green.
Yep.
Now I'm willing to meet him in court.
law, okay? That includes fair use dealings, fair use law. If you were to take this video to a fucking courtroom,
Thanks for resub Notorious. Hey, Jubilee refugees. Sorry to hear X is watching Jubilee.
You know, normally reacting or commentating on someone else's video as part of a critique falls under fair use. And generally speaking, pretty much
it's a meme on Twitch. So XQC will watch Jubilee and the chat fucking hates it. So when he watched Jubilee, some viewers will just like leave. They'll just go somewhere else. They call them Jubilee refugees. It's fucking great. It's like XQC's version of raiding. So he doesn't do like an official raid, but he'll turn on Jubilee and he'll just like disperse viewers all over the platform.
That's like a reverse spirit bomb.
Yeah, it's so cute. It's so sweet. I think he does it on purpose, just being a nice guy.
Some people might ask, well, why are you making this video? Why are you giving him exposure? I understand your concerns, but this affects the entire YouTube platform. By the way, he's not gaining much of a following or viewership from all of this controversy.
I know, he's kind of popping
off.
Goal
is the termination of his YouTube channel.
That's bold.
Routinely abusing copyright, violating terms of service, and the YouTube community guidelines.
And there are all these people saying that I falsely attacked some young kid. Everybody loves to put his age out. The moment I mention it, why are you so obsessed with his age? I don't care, he's a minor. Leave it alone.
For some reason,
did he attack
really obsessed with the age of Mischief.
Like, nobody gives a shit about his age. He's being a piece of garbage. People like Mischief, who apparently is a young child. Maybe Mischief's mother might want to get in on this. What? All the negative press you've seen on me is because I reviewed a game once, didn't like it. Some 16-year-old kid picked it up. This is said 16-year-old. 16-year-old, 17-year-old kid from the UK. Mischief, the 16-year-old kid. You're not some young 16-year-old kid.
He really does seem fixated on that age.
This kid. He's a 16-year-old. There's a 16-year-old kid. Some 16-year-old kid on the Mischief is the chief orchestrator.
I don't know why you would highlight that when you're making an argument, just to keep bringing up that they're 16. Like
bullying a 16-year-old.
Like if I was to fight someone, I would only fight a child, like a 12-year-old. And I would likely win, but I would never say I beat a child. No. I'd be like, I went to war.
Won a fight.
I won a fight. Yeah. I'm an undefeated fighter, 1-0.
Yeah. How old was that other fighter?
We don't like. No one needs to ask. Yeah. Like, I would never bring that up willingly.
All you need to know is he had fists too. So, 2 of them, might I add. There were 2 of them.
Oh man, he's going full anime villain here. I'll have a judge explaining the 4 characteristics of fair use, which determine fair use case law. Shake my head. Damn.
Let's give a shout out to Mischief.
You know, that is a great idea, Quantum. For once we agree on something, everybody go subscribe to Mischief. Let's get him to more subscribers than Quantum TV so we can see who the real
wait, how did that work?
YouTuber
So this has been This is a day old. Let's see what Mischief is at. He's gonna be at like 1 million.
Oh no, Mischief.
Oh,
Mischief.
Oh, wait, you're right. Yeah.
88.9K.
Wait.
Ooh. Yeah, just Mischief.
That's huge.
Oh, that is so nice.
Wait, now I want to see Quantum.
I'd hate to bully such a small creator, you know?
Yeah.
God.
Oh, Quantum's at 65.
Oh no, Quantum. Does he have fans? Like, do people defend him? I wonder.
I can't imagine.
The power of an apology. Oh, no. Is he rolling over?
No.
No. He's too strong for that.
This is Quantum.
This has to be
no.
Today we're gonna clickbait, right?
Yeah, it's definitely clickbait. Quantum's never said I'm sorry in his life. Now Mischief's gonna be punching down every time he makes a joke about Quantum.
The craziest part is his normal content is reviewing
technology.
TVs.
It's technology based. And then for some reason he came out of nowhere saying, like, if you play Elden Ring and like it, you're going to hell. He also treats the YouTube community tab like it's Twitter.
Oh, Lord.
He posts so often on here. Let me see if I can find that quick religious post he made about how everyone that doesn't like him is actually a Satanist. He was talking... Oh, he made a post... This one was so fucking weird. He made a post saying that people that don't like him have homosexual rituals where they have sex with their dad and practice Satanism. It was so fucking unhinged.
That's pretty cool.
He posted it in the community tab too, which means his subscribers got a notification with him saying that.
Oh, God.
I wonder where that went though, because I didn't see it. It was a few days ago. It's on Actman's Twitter, is it? Let me see. This shit was crazy when I read it.
What an obtuse ass insult. homosexuals that have sex with their dad. Like, what if you have sex with your dad and you're not homosexual? Like, what?
Oh, here, yeah. I guess it was a Discord post.
Satanists in the sky.
Every time I watch one of their videos, you can tell they're trying to brainwash the masses into their gay, liberal, satanic, atheist agenda. 1 minute someone could be watching Stop the FOMO, and the next minute they start having anal sex with their dads, doing coke, and trying to conjure demons with satanic rituals. Satanic influence isn't a joke. Bro, this guy's fucking wacky. This is what happens when you don't like Elden Ring. This is what you become.
We found the one.
Yeah. This shit was he had more posts like this in the community tab, but I guess they're gone. He was going hard though. Like really on it. Like Chuck Tingle shit where he's talking about like having sex with dinosaurs or something for the sake of disrespecting God.
What's funny to me is
Chuck Tingle?
No.
Ace Attorney Bigfoot at Large?
Oh. What?
He's using God's name in vain to say that he hates other people. It just doesn't.
True. Hey, don't poke holes in his worship. Everyone loves the Lord in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of these people are going to hell and suffer for eternity. They need an ass kicking from some Christians. Also, all the troll comments from satanic atheists are getting banned. All the satanic, gay, atheist people accusing me of being a coward for deleting my video, I only had to delete them because of YouTubers' gay agenda instead of people getting upset at me. Why don't they just let me be? Oh my god, this shit is so fucking crazy.
So he's extremely unhinged.
Yeah, this guy was reviewing TVs just 1 week ago. Can you believe that?
So you're saying because I fucked my dad, his channel's going down?
Because they're all heterophobic, anti-Christian pieces of shit. I don't want to participate in the anal sex the liberal people tell me to. I love to imagine, like, every day there's people knocking on his door trying to, like, bargain anal sex, just trying to convince him.
It's like, God, stop.
I'm not gonna do it!
I think he's just projecting. Maybe he just wants to fuck his dad.
Yeah, maybe he's, like, really wanting anal sex but can't find the right excuse.
Of YouTube.
Isn't it funny when people try to call you a bigot and a homophobe when they're literally exactly what they're trying to accuse you of being? Look at you. Literally look at what you're doing. It's rich watching you try to paint me as some sort of bigot as you literally are one.
He put up very, very hateful things towards the LGBTQ community, and I'm not just talking mean words. He actually wished death on them. Wishing death upon someone is another story. I seriously question your sanity.
Thanks for some
This is
cricket
what
and
Quantum
Chase.
TV wrote back.
Hey, Chase.
They deserve it. The world is better off without them forcing their lifestyle on it. These are your accounts that you had linked on
Damn,
your
this guy's
YouTube,
really... He's going
all of a sudden
wacky. He's
you're
posting
not
cringe on
responsible
main.
for them.
God. Well, case closed.
Mr. TV,
He's innocent.
Would you please read the words on your channel
Thanks
banner?
for some
The
Keegan.
#1 brand in honesty. Well, it should say the #1 brand in lies. Take that! If your accounts were hacked and compromised, then why were these horrible offensive things left on your account after you regained control of it? Why is there no history or post we can refer to of you mentioning the hack back in 2018? Unless these accounts were under the hacker's control for the last
editing is
4
fucking
years.
so laughing.
That's not the case either, because you're racist, and I don't use any of these words lightly. David, fuck you and your hate speech against me. Calling me homophobic because I'm anti-gay support is all you liberals do. I'm pretty sure being
Isn't that like
anti-gay
the definition
is
of
homophobic.
homophobic?
I've never pushed or forced my sexuality.
So confused.
What?
Yeah,
That's
I'm
like
not racist. I'm just anti other races.
What the fuck is this guy talking about?
Propaganda. Black Panther is racist and only the most hateful blacks like it.
Holy
Yes,
shit.
hello? What are the symptoms of brain damage?
Place for anybody else, okay?
There is one thing no community on YouTube
Yeah, I watched
tolerates,
Pound
and it's a
today.
copyright
We all did.
abuser.
I don't care about your opinion, dude. I care about the fact that you're nuts and you're toxic to this community.
Yeah, this is like the Jussie Smollett of fucking YouTube. 100%. That's the perfect description.
Here's your some funeral.
I suggest you make peace with whatever content you wish to publish on your channel before you see this screen again. And Quantum,
I hope it
gonna
goes to
see
court.
it again. I may not be able to offer
think that'd
a
be
cure
great.
for narcissism, but hopefully by shattering this
Imagine the
false
judge loves
reality and
Elden Ring.
sense of yourself, then perhaps maybe
Oh, that
whatever
was huge.
spell you're under, you will wake up from it. It's such a shame.
If he wants to,
And I was planning on asking you about this new TV I was interested in.
Oh, I thought that was saying it already happened.
No.
Wait, the video wasn't published yet.
Damn. What a thorough deep dive.
Deep down, everyone's as ugly as you.
Jesus. So what was his video then with the apology thing? So what is this then if it's not like an actual video?
It's just a podcast.
Does he
What's
speak?
going on, everybody? Welcome to the Quantum TV podcast. So today we're going to talk about some things I've learned. Oh yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. This last month has been very entertaining, to say the least. I've learned quite a few things. For example, I've learned if you wake up on a Thursday afternoon, just, roll out of bed after using a bunch of slurs on Twitter, you can just hop online and apologize and everything goes away. Because you have a bright future ahead of you, or maybe you were a kid that is just having a bad day.
Man, this guy
Everybody's gonna
talks in
forgive
like the most annoying fucking way. He talks as if he's giving like a presentation in
He
class.
sounds like a really smarmy youth pastor.
Yes, smarmy is a good word for it. Like very like smelling of his own farts kind of thing.
100%.
Like I got a 15 on my ACTs, which was like above 50 percentile, so I feel good.
Like he literally takes like a wine glass, he sips, he's like, "You smell the 4 legs, child."
I don't want to listen to 26 minutes of it. I'm assuming there's no apology. I couldn't fucking tell you. The iDubbbz controversy that's blowing up at the moment has launched the simp wars to a new level that not even Jesus Christ thought possible. I keep getting asked my opinion on the iDubbbz situation during streams, and I don't fucking understand why. I made one video about simps on Twitter, and now all of a sudden I'm like the simp epidemiologist plotting the course, and everyone's looking for my expert opinion on it. Shockingly, I don't have a degree in simp research and analytics, but I'll still weigh in on the topic because I'm inundated with requests to do so, and I actually feel very passionate about something in this situation. To sum up the situation for those out of the loop, iDubbbz is a popular YouTuber, and he has a girlfriend. His girlfriend created an OnlyFans account, and the internet has lost their fucking minds. Today he made a video addressing the controversy and the meltdown, and he is getting his ass blasted for defending it. Now, fair warning, I'm about to go against the grain here, so get your body pillow and squeeze her tight because you're going to need the comfort. This might be a hard pill to swallow. I think this controversy is such fucking sad bullshit. I think people are way too fucking invested in internet celebrities, and it's just genuinely pathetic. Now, I don't agree with every point iDubbbz made in the video, and I don't think that's a big deal. I don't fucking hate him because I disagreed with a couple of points, and I think overall, this shouldn't have even been a controversy in the first place, but because celebrity worship is so normalized in the world right now, people felt so entitled to tell iDubbbz how to live his life and what he's allowed to do and what he's not allowed to do. It's his fucking relationship. If he's okay with his girlfriend having an OnlyFans account, all power to him. But then you have these professional Redditors going in full Alex Jones meltdown, shaking their fucking fists, running outside. "Damn you, iDubbbz, how could you do this to me? You've betrayed me, my life is ruined." It's pitiful. Now, he made a clear distinction in his video between those unhealthily obsessed people that act like their entire universe collapsed because he did something that they morally didn't agree with, and the people who are just memeing the situation and making jokes. That community, that cell right there, I think is totally fine. They've made some bangers, for sure, that he even acknowledged. But you have this very large and, for some reason, socially acceptable group of superfan stalker stans. They're K-pop stans for iDubbbz. But unlike the unhealthily obsessed K-pop stans, this unhealthily obsessed group isn't getting made fun of. For some reason, this one's rational and okay. These people that are acting like their entire life has just come to a complete halt because of iDubbbz supporting his girlfriend's decision. These people that are so incredibly outraged that they have to go into their closet to tear down the bubblegum effigy they built of iDubbbz because now they don't agree with something he did. This shit is goofy and out of control. That's what I'm passionate about. This unhealthy celebrity worship and this ridiculous idea that people on the internet are his best friend just because they subscribe to his YouTube channel and watch one of his videos a month. Now they feel like they know him inside and out and have some say in how he's allowed to live his life. That he needs to ask their permission to make decisions. I think that's fucked up and out of control. That's the only thing I'm really passionate about in this situation. I just think celebrity worship is a plague. I think that shit absolutely sucks, and there's never anything good that comes from it, and this iDubbbz situation, this controversy, is born from that very idea. Now, I'll talk about the entire situation while I'm here and give my whole perspective. Now, first of all, I don't know shit about iDubbbz's girlfriend. I've talked to Ian a handful of times, and I've enjoyed our conversations. He came on the podcast, and we had a lot of fun there. But I don't know anything about his girlfriend. From what I've seen on a surface level with comments and shit, she's been involved in controversies on the internet, but I haven't looked into it, so I don't have any personal opinion of her or her character or anything like that. In my expert opinion, iDubbbz isn't a simp. I know you can't say that right now. I mean, keep it between us. I'll whisper it. I know it's like saying Voldemort's name out loud, but I don't think iDubbbz is a simp. Call me a white knight, but I just don't see it. iDubbbz's girlfriend is literally selling Instagram pictures for money on OnlyFans. 9 out of 10 OnlyFans accounts are just a second Instagram. Everything you find on OnlyFans is shit that you would find on a public Instagram, but people are paying for it. It's genius. She made $40,000 selling no nudity on OnlyFans. It's fucking Instagram pictures. That's genius. It's free money. And then people calling iDubbbz a cuck about how she's gonna get a new boyfriend from OnlyFans. Are you out of your fucking mind? Do you think the Easter Bunny is real too? Are you injecting crocodile into your penis veins? You really think some kissless, snot-nosed virgin on OnlyFans is gonna steal iDubbbz's girl because he subscribed to her OnlyFans? Absolutely fucking not. That is never going to happen. I'm sorry to come in here and hit you with the cold water about Santa Claus not being real, but that's not gonna happen. But if it does, I will go on stream and burn through my entire Gwyneth Paltrow pussy candle. That is literally the last pussy candle from Gwyneth Paltrow and one of my prized possessions. So I'm wagering a lot. I'm very fucking confident that that is just not going to happen. People are paying for shit that he's getting for free. Who's the actual cuck here? It's very silly. It's not like by jerking off to Instagram pictures of his girlfriend, they're any closer to actually fucking her. It's not like you've lost your virginity by ejaculating into some tissues looking at her OnlyFans Instagram pictures. It's not like, you know, via transitive property and the dimensional shifting quantum mechanics, I've had sex with iDubbbz's girlfriend. That's not how it fucking works. It's still an exclusive relationship between those two. It's not like because she has an OnlyFans, even if she was doing nudes, it's not like she's become this spread-legged, labia-extended vagina that everyone stuck their dick in just because they subscribed to the OnlyFans. And she's not even doing nudity, so it's still just a normal relationship for those two, but she has 2 Instagram accounts that one of them is making a lot of money. Now, I understand there are a lot of people that had a moral objection to her having an OnlyFans and him supporting it, and that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You can disagree, that's totally within your right. But it's these people that took it to this absurd degree of lunacy where they'll go on this 200 tweet long rampage about it, like this fucking holy crusade, splashing holy water on their monitors. They're typing up another 15 paragraphs where it enters this level of lunacy. That's where it becomes this unhealthily worshipped shit that is just detrimental to anyone's mental well-being. But yeah, again, the main thing that I was passionate about this whole situation is just the celebrity worship and how people's lives have come to this screeching halt because they don't agree with the decision their favorite internet person made that didn't concern them personally. I just don't understand that level of infatuation and vicariously living through someone that you don't even know. It's just unhealthy and sad with like a really weird level of self-importance where you'll have these armchair relationship specialists leaving all of these long fucking comments with so much shit put behind it. It's just really pathetic, you know. Ian must break up with his girlfriend. I know this is going to happen, and if he doesn't break up with his girlfriend, well, then I'm just never coming back here again. As if that somehow holds any weight at all to the guy you're talking to. As if iDubbbz is going to sit down and read that, be like, you know what, I was in a happy relationship, but now I've just read Ass Pounder 14's comment about it, and he's making a good point, I'm going to have to break up with her, thanks man. It's just fucking silly. If you disagree with it or anything like that, why not just make jokes and memes about it like a normal fucking healthy person was, instead of writing these long, full-on goddamn dissertations about the whole situation and just acting like a goddamn stalking weirdo and breaking down over Twitter. Yeah, that's really kind of my take on the situation. I don't see why it was even a controversy in the first place, past some like big memes and good jokes maybe. But, I mean, shit, it really kind of blew up, and I don't think Ian even needed to address it. I'm sure in like another 2 weeks it would have totally blown over, even on his own cesspool of a subreddit. But we're here now, baby, and it is what it is, so, I mean, that's really about it. So yeah, welcome to the splash zone. I'm just gonna cannonball into the pool right away here because this story's got me heated. I am boiling right now. On YouTube, there is one unforgivable sin, an unwritten rule that every creator and user is aware of. It's kind of like a treaty, a truce that we've all shaken hands on and accept because it is inexcusable, slimy, and anytime someone tries to take a bite of the forbidden fruit, they rightfully get their cheeks disciplined, a very firm spanking from the whole community, and most of the time they end up pretty much losing their career from it, from their own self-destructive narcissism and greed. That is false copyright strikes. And unfortunately, that's what we're talking about today. A big YouTube channel named Magnates Media is facing termination because he received 3 fraudulent copyright strikes from another YouTube channel named Business Casual, aka Alex Edson. Now, Alex Edson is a special fucking malicious goofball. You see, this guy didn't even build the Business Casual channel from scratch or anything. He bought it when it was already extremely popular. So he didn't even put the fucking work in, which is an absolute goober move off rip. But you've probably heard of this channel recently because he had a viral video talking about why he's suing YouTube. And while there is some compelling points and evidence, there's also a bunch of dirty barnacles in here as well, with some shady claims and some claims that were just absolutely wrong, like provably false. But overall, like, the video did have a lot to it, which is why it was so popular, and it was well put together, it was high production, and made some good points and some not so great points. But overall, it was kind of odd. And a couple YouTubers actually pointed out a lot of it. In fact, Upper Echelon made 3 videos kind of covering all of it, which I think make very good points. Overall, the whole thing was odd, if nothing else. And now Alex is back from the septic tanks, he's risen from the sewers like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and he's bringing bad news. He's striking down Magnates Media with what I and anyone with a functioning cerebral cortex will classify as blatant abuse of the copyright systems. So, he's issued 3 strikes to Magnates Media, which sets his channel up for termination in the coming days. He's already received a notice that his channel will be taken down because of these strikes from Business Casual. Let me just lay down the brass tacks here with the level of lunacy we're dealing with these claims. So, Business Casual is basically taking away Magnates Media's entire livelihood because he believes that some of his content looked similar to his based on an editing technique called parallax editing. So he struck him 3 times for 3 separate videos. The total content time of those 3 videos is over an hour and a half long. And of those 3 videos, in total, 10 seconds, roughly 10 seconds worth of footage, Alex is saying belonged to him. So in one of the videos, it is actually just a single image that lasts for like 3 seconds, and he's saying that he stole it directly from his video because the parallax editing technique was a dead giveaway. But Magnates Media has proven beyond a shadow of doubt that not only is that image a public domain image, because they were covering a similar topic, so of course they're going to have similar images because it's a fucking public domain image. So he proved it's a public domain image and that the parallax editing technique was done by his editor. And he has like a 16-minute video showcasing his editor doing the editing on that photo to prove he didn't take it from Business Casual. And they don't even look similar in any of these cases, but this is how outrageous Alex Edson's claims are. In total, about 10 seconds he has a problem with, saying that it looks similar to his work, thus it must have been stolen, and he has a right to terminate this channel. And Magnates Media channel will be terminated because of these 3 strikes as of right now. He's already received the notice that it's coming. It's right around the corner. That is fucking frightening and just downright evil from Business Casual. Upper Echelon made an incredible video going over this entire subject from top to bottom, inside and out. I highly recommend checking out that video. I'm going to put a link to it in the description. He does an amazing job breaking it all down thoroughly, as well as some other incredibly fucked up things Alex has done.
If you read the other provisions of the DMCA Safe Harbor, Section 512, it's clear that Congress did not want parties to have to sue to enforce their rights. So while it may be that the system could be gamed on the other side, that's how Congress intended it to be. End quote. That right there is Business Casual arguing that simply because he filed some strikes, it therefore means that YouTube needs to terminate the entire channel without him proving anything in a court of law. That's what we just read, and that appears to be precisely what he's doing now to a channel named Magnates Media.
What he was reading there comes from a completely different case, but just hearing that is beyond alarming. That is fucking chaos. That is the opening of Pandora's box in the worst way imaginable. So Alex Edson is an actual villain, and what he's doing here is completely unjustifiable. This is beyond fucking tragic. There's absolutely no argument he nor anyone could make on his behalf that would justify him taking down an entire channel, ruining the entire career and livelihood of that creator based on similarity of public domain images. Now, they made videos on similar topics, obviously. They did do that, but there's nothing wrong with that. It's not like Alex owns that whole topic or anything. And Alex even made a bold claim that Magnates Media stole his scripts from his videos, which is so laughably delusional. I imagine he was twirling his little evil mustache when he made that claim, because Business Casual's videos on the same content as Magnate Media is like 19 minutes, 20 minutes long sometimes. Magnates Media coverage is like 50 plus minutes long. So Magnates Media does a much more thorough breakdown and deep dive on everything than Business Casual, so how the fuck would he have stolen any of the scripts? But even still, Magnates Media played ball with it. He tap danced with the claims and still proved his innocence by showing all of the timestamps of the editing done to his script from fucking start to finish. Alex tried to claim that he stole his scripts and plugged it into ChatGPT to generate a somewhat different script while still maintaining his video's DNA. He doesn't even know what the fuck he's talking about. He's just using random buzzwords in his stupid little smooth brain. That's so laughable. What a fucking joke of a person. And it's sickening to see him do this to someone he views as competition. That's the only explanation I can think of for why he'd even target this channel. There is absolutely no justification or argument someone can make that would convince me that what Alex is doing here is just, and he has a right to do so. If there really was an issue where he felt like these images were stolen, like, oh, you took this image that my editor worked hard on editing, he could have reached out to Magnates Media. And Magnates Media has said multiple times on Twitter that he has tried to reach out to Alex himself to try and resolve this whole situation amicably. But Alex isn't responding. He's giving the cold shoulder, fucking full radio silence. But you could have reached out and said, hey, can you remove that, or some other different solution that doesn't involve striking. That is the nuclear option. That is the harshest punishment that you can dish out. And it's highly unnecessary here when all of the offending content that you believe is too similar to yours only accounts for 10 seconds out of over an hour and a half worth of content. That makes no sense. It's fucking ridiculous, and it's shameful. It is beyond shameful. Another YouTuber made a great video covering this situation as well, which I'll link in the description too, and he leads to a bigger conversation to be had about what this could mean for the entire platform going forward, as well as he talks about something that I think is important we mention as well, that if Magnates Media tries to push back and defend himself, fight back against Alex Edson legally, Alex Edson may very well just turn around and sue him. He has shown he is more than willing to do that, and it just seems like he is vaguely alluding to the fact that he would be open to doing that against Magnates Media should he try and defend himself against his claims here. So, just an actual piece of shit. Now, what Scott highlights, and something that I'd also like to talk about, is what it could mean for the whole platform should this behavior continue. It would mean that if you, let's say, are doing a, video essay on a topic that another channel has covered, you might be at risk of them striking your channel down because you used the same image they used. You were covering the same topic and you may have used the same image, and maybe you just used very standard editing techniques like, TV static effect, or a very common one you see in all video essays these days are the crumpled paper backgrounds. A lot of video essays today use the crumpled paper background. I think you know exactly what I'm talking about. So should this kind of shit continue, you could very well be next on the chopping block for someone who said, hey, I have a right to use the crumpled paper background. You have lifted my editing technique. This work is too similar to mine. Here's a strike for it. I think it's pretty obvious how that would be absolutely awful to the platform overall. So really the whole thing is terrible. This whole situation is really bad for YouTube entirely. I've only scratched the very tip of this iceberg with how disgusting this whole situation is, so I do encourage you once again to watch the Upper Echelon video as well as Scott Schaefer's video. Mudahar also just posted something about it, and all three of them are far more knowledgeable on all of the nuance to this subject than I am. I just wanted to give a general overview of everything, and I'll just quickly try and cover my own ass before Alex Edson tries to stick his tongue in it. I'm just giving my opinion on everything. I'm not a lawyer. I didn't pass the bar. I can't say for sure if these are fraudulent claims or if it's an alleged abuse of the copyright system. I'm just giving my dumb, stupid caveman brain opinion on it and saying that I think you suck, Alex. I think you are a revolting, stinky piece of dog shit that not even the flies want to be around. That's all. I'm just here to kind of make fun of you and point out a problem here with your behavior. So yeah, here's hoping Magnets Media doesn't lose his channel from all of this absolute mumbo jumbo. That would be extremely upsetting to see. Hoping for the best for him and his channel and a good outcome from this whole situation here. That's really about it. So yeah. Every now and again, there's some extremely niche drama that I get made aware of, and almost every time without fail, it is extraordinarily entertaining. Yesterday, I was made aware of some drama in a art community, but not like general art, it was poster art. So a company called Poster Spy was contacted by a film festival to do some art for them. But the rate they were offering for the work was really low, so Poster Spy declined. And this was taken as a declaration of war. This was an event so powerful in the poster art community, it was like the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. The organizer of the film festival went into a complete unhinged frenzy. But before getting into all that, I'd like to give a thanks to today's sponsor, Honkai Star Rail. Big thanks to Honkai Star Rail for sponsoring today's video. Honkai Star Rail is a new strategy RPG which features a deep and fun turn-based combat system, as well as large maps with an emphasis on exploration, as well as a lot of puzzle-solving elements. It's free to play, and it also supports cross-platform play, so that way you can log in on mobile or PC and the data is shared across all the platforms. It's a sci-fi epic set in a universe spanning thousands of years. You get to experience a meticulously crafted sci-fi world through side stories and rich in-game lore, and it's all presented beautifully with stunning effects during battle that keeps the combat very fulfilling and always engaging. From orbital cannons, ice walls, full-fledged armies, just a ton that make it extremely exciting. And of course the character art design is amazing, and there's also highly polished cutscenes as well as beautiful music to accompany everything. It's another new fantastic game from the makers of Genshin Impact, Hoyoverse. So if you're interested in checking it out, you can pre-register for the game using the link in the description below for some special rewards. Huge thanks again to Honkai Star Rail for sponsoring today's video. He started stomping his feet around, soiling his diaper, going on massive tirades about like how disrespectful it was to decline, and then eventually hatched his evil supervillain plan of using AI art instead, but then blaming Poster Spy for suggesting it. So the company that guy ran is called Animalist Fabula, and they're doing a film festival, and for promotional pieces of art, he wanted to commission Poster Spy but wasn't offering enough to make it worth their time, so instead used AI art, but then wanted to make a big stink about it because he let people know that this is all AI generated art, no artists were paid for this work, and said that this was a suggestion from Poster Spy, which is very not great in the art field right now, because obviously artists would like to continue getting commissioned work and not be replaced by AI. And the organizer of the film festival, his name's Tom McPhee, he knew that. So he wanted to ruin the reputation of Poster Spy in the biggest way that he could. So he just started blaming them for suggesting AI art instead of paying artists, even though that was never the case. He just offered a shit deal that Poster Spy declined. I've never seen a professional get this mad about getting told no for commissioned work. Tom McPhee was more upset about this than if he found his own wife cheating on him. He went on crazy long rants that Poster Spy publicly put on Twitter for all of us to enjoy. Now, this is important. The person behind Poster Spy that directly interacted with Tom McPhee, his name is Jack. So every time that Tom McPhee is emailing Poster Spy, he's always talking to Jack and making it clear. So he'll say these big things like, change or die, Jack. That's the way the universe works. Change or die, Jack. It honestly sounds like he's pretending to be Senator Armstrong out of Metal Gear Rising. Nanomachine, son. Come on, Jack. Like, that, he is literally Senator Armstrong, but if he was the lamest fucking goofball of all time. So I want to go over all of this and show you all of the receipts that Poster Spy put on Twitter. Poster Spy was recently accused of suggesting a film festival use AI and not pay artists. This is categorically not true. Earlier this week, I was asked by Tom McPhee, the executive director of Animal is Fabula, to run a poster competition for his film festival poster. I declined, citing that artists should deserve fair payment. Thanks to Jack at Poster Spy for recommending we use AI to generate our art and save our non-profit money. What a piece of shit. What the fuck? Wait, what? You were a huge help yesterday. Thanks again. We're excited you're going to share this example with the collective. It's a great example of economics for anyone to see in real time. I will credit you for helping our tiny nonprofit with this really great cost-saving process to use AI to generate art to communicate our mission to the world. Even though this guy just turned down their very low commission rate. So they were so upset that he turned them down that they're now throwing all of the blame for them using AI on him to make him look bad. What a piece of shit. What? That is so ridiculously petty. This guy seems fucking unhinged. I came to you to try and spend money, dude, with your peeps. You go off the rails, sick your peeps on our page, and go into a rage fest all because you made AI the most relevant option when you said go somewhere, just not here. And I have issues? I really don't. I'm super happy with how things turned out, Jack. And I just can't thank you enough. Go ahead, rage all you want. I'm smiling and I'm super happy how things turned out. And with every email you send and goon you send to our page, I revel. I revel greatly. You were mean to me, Jack. How old is this guy? 9? You were so mean to me, Jack. That's why I ate all the animal crackers and left you none. And told me to go away with my money elsewhere when I came to you for help. I did go away, and you're still not happy. Is there something fundamentally wrong with you, Jack? The world is changing radically fast, and it appears you just got run over by the way you used to look at things. Change or die, Jack. That's what the universe is all about. Change or die. Bro, this Tom McPhee has watched way too much, like, B-tier anime. What the fuck? Why are you reading it like that? Because of his punctuation. I'm smiling and I'm super happy, period. How things turned out, period. It's the way he wrote it. I really don't, period. Like, that's how he has written it. Like an actual anime monologuer. I can actually imagine him holding a skull in one of his hands while typing with the other as he's giving this speech. This motherfucker thinks he's a villain in an 80s movie for real. I know. He is super mentally unwell, judging by the way he's written this. Because keep in mind, all Jack did was say, no thank you, $250 is a little low. You should find someone else for that price. So instead of doing that, they used AI, and then when people realized it was AI, they just said it was all Poster Spy's idea for using AI, which is a big no-no in the art community. So then they throw all of it on him, and then for some reason still come back with a message. Oh, cute, he wants to get Wired UK to write an article about us. What's this? Who are these weirdos? So, to be clear, I am an evidence gatherer. It serves me in my creative capacity, and I wish to thank you for the great deal of evidence your lot have provided to use as it was used in an attempt to terrorize and harass our non-profit. How long have you been building your Facebook presence? It would be a shame to lose all that hard work, or other people's hard work is what I meant to say. Isn't your Facebook and website mostly other people's work? Did you pay them to use it? Let's revisit this brilliant past week, shall we? I reach out to pay your people some money to make some art. It was a very low price that he declined, which he has every right to decline. That is where it all started. You lowballed and he said no thanks. And you had this massive fucking blow up. Holy shit, these guys are weird. Your rebuff tells me in so many ways saying no. What? You rebuff tell me in so many ways saying no. He just said no. Like, all he did was say no, it's too low. Inspiring my deep desire to not have to deal with people like you again and go straight away to AI to make our art ourselves for free. I thank you for this direct result of our interaction, and you lose your mind. Where? Where did he lose his mind? Where was that? I must have missed that stage here, because I certainly haven't seen it. You, sir, are just like your country. You have no sense of holding the Commonwealth together because you're making ridiculous assumptions of how to earn a living. You're selling your minions down the drain with this crap. You foist on them. You foist on them? What is that? Is that a word I don't know, or is he using Rick and Morty gibberish? Foist means to impose an unwelcome or unnecessary person on. I'm not familiar enough with the word to understand if that makes any sense at all in this context, but great word choice. I see he too subscribes to the Webster's Word of the Day. I can only hope you continue to attempt to slam and subvert as we continue to use AI to promote our work and tell the world how we were so inspired by you and your collective to do so. I will literally mention it every time. I am even thinking about reaching out to a friend at Wired UK I've done stories with to share this delicious moment in time. I hope you don't mind if I drop your name in the name of Poster Spy. It's only fitting you get credit where credit is due. How does it feel to be a part of why artists in your realm aren't getting paid? It's a direct result of your super flawed strategy. Bro, Tom McPhee, this man is a menace. This man thinks he's like in Gotham right now. Literally all because he just declined a lowball commission offer. Thank you so much for delivering your masses to zombiedom by attempting to hold back the universe. What the fuck? What in the good heavens, Tom? Jeepers. I fed you perfectly and you didn't disappoint. Now you are the zombie apocalypse. This is the cringiest shit ever. This is worse than that Reddit old copy pasta about, in this moment I am euphoric, not because of some phony false god, because I am enlightened by my own intelligence. That R-atheism shit. That is Tom. That guy who wrote that Reddit post grew up and became Tom McPhee. Lastly, I'm an OG motherfucker at this shit, and I use little toothpick dicks like you to clean my teeth after a snack. You're using dicks to clean your teeth? Why? Why would you be cleaning your teeth with dick? What the fuck are you talking about? That's like the worst tough guy talk ever. What? Who is this? I can actually feel the steam coming out of his head as he was typing this, trying to cobble together some kind of insults. And he came up with, I'm an OG motherfucker who uses little toothpick dicks to clean my teeth after a snack. So tell me, Mr. Jack, is it me writing that or AI? It's you, Tom, it's you. That would be pretty, like, profound if this had any semblance of potential AI-generated shit. This is not ChatGPT. Not even ChatGPT could be this unhinged and stupid. No shot. This is you, Tom. Let's get some real press on this now, don't you think? This might be a really timely story. For the first time, I agree with Tom. This is a great story. This is, as he called it, a delicious moment in time. What is his organization? Animalis Fabula. It's a film festival? I mean, he does sound like a drama kid. Nothing too crazy here. It looks like the only thing he's ever done is this film festival. Does his LinkedIn say he's an OG? Oh, yeah. It was Animalis Fabula and then prior OG motherfucker, of course. That was his last occupation. I mean, this is him. He does look like an OG motherfucker. I mean, he's eating toothpick dicks for breakfast or whatever, so... Damn. This almost looks like a mugshot more than like a promotional piece. Maybe it's AI generated. Olive Garden's a pretty popular restaurant. I imagine most of you watching this are familiar with it. But have you ever been sitting down enjoying a mediocre meal at Olive Garden and you think to yourself, geez, you know what would really brighten up these flavors and bring out the umami of my soup? A severed rat's foot. My guess would be probably not. I can't imagine that's a thought that's popped into many people's mind while eating at Olive Garden. But it did at least for one person, allegedly. There is an ongoing lawsuit that just got filed recently where a customer is claiming that Olive Garden served him a severed rat's foot in his soup and he dropped a picture of it. So it does appear to be a severed rat's foot. This may have come straight from Splinter himself, and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are going to be really upset about that. Obviously, the customer was also upset because he really didn't want to be biting on Stuart Little while he was eating his soup. So he filed a lawsuit. He's claimed that this was a huge health risk. It cut the inside of his mouth, and more than anything, it just became an emotionally traumatizing experience. Which, you know, I mean, that sounds about par for the course. Nobody enjoys chewing on a rat's foot that they didn't order, so this seemed like a big old mistake here from Olive Garden, a big boo-boo. But it's not so cut and dry, actually. There's a lot of layers to this onion. There's potential that this rat's foot was planted here as a way of getting money out of a lawsuit from Olive Garden, because this kind of lawsuit has actually happened in the past in a very similar way. So Olive Garden's not going quietly into the night. They're fighting back here. They're not just going belly up, letting Hulkmania run wild on them. They're not looking to settle with some undisclosed financial amount to try and bury this or anything. They are pushing back against this lawsuit and all of the claims. And it's pretty interesting. If it turns out he did travel with his own rat's foot to plant here in order to try and scam Olive Garden, it wouldn't be the first of its kind. Something very similar actually happened to Wendy's a while ago with a severed human finger, which turned out to be part of a scam, and the culprits faced real hard consequences for it. We'll get to that story here in a minute too. I want to talk about this whole the scope of food-related body parts, both human and animal. So I've been thinking about it a little bit. To serve someone a severed rat's foot would be extremely hard to do on accident, because you'd have to get a rat and then knowingly cut its foot off and then put that in the soup. Like, that wouldn't be something that would just be a whoops-a-daisy moment, didn't mean for that to happen. That would be a planned, calculated event if that were true. There have been those cases that are legitimate where, like, a small rodent or like a cockroach or something falls into a deep fat fryer and someone ends up getting served a fucking fried rat. There have been real cases of that. That wasn't like some kind of malicious, I'm gonna fuck this person in the face with a fried rat type event. That was a, whoop, this rat just fell in the deep fat fryer and people weren't paying enough attention to recognize it and get it out of there, so it ended up getting served to a customer. Those have been reported in the past as real. But in this case, it wasn't the whole rat. It was just his severed leg. Like, you couldn't accidentally serve a severed rat's leg unless one of the chefs brought it from home because they were making a witch's potion in the back of the Olive Garden and it called for a rat's foot as one of the ingredients. Just like practicing alchemy back there. Like, there's no way you could accidentally have a rat's foot in that kitchen because someone would have had to cut the rat's foot off and then knowingly put it in a soup. And beyond that, there are some sketchy things that the customer and his legal team are doing that don't make a whole lot of sense if this is all authentic and legitimate, if he actually did get served a rat's foot at the Olive Garden. Like, they're being very shady with how they're going about this. So I personally lean more on the side that I think this is likely, potentially, a case of a customer bringing this in order to try and get money out of a lawsuit from the restaurant. But they chose Olive Garden. And while Olive Garden doesn't have the best reputation, it doesn't have an overwhelmingly negative one either, where they're just going to like go tits up on it and say, oh god, okay, here, just take the money and don't say anything. Like, if they had done this at a Burger King, like, Burger King served me this rat's foot, no one would have batted an eye. And Burger King would have been like, We probably did. Here's your money. We don't need to investigate. But at Olive Garden, there is some level of quality control, so these claims were taken very seriously, and a real thorough investigation has taken place by them in order to confirm if this is real or a scam. Do you hear about the rat foot found in a man's soup at Olive Garden? Was he upset about it? That sounds like a pretty high quality menu on Olive Garden. They gave him a treat. I actually don't hate Olive Garden, to be honest with you. Madison Heights man is suing Olive Garden for allegedly serving him a severed rat's foot in a bowl of minestrone soup. Thomas Howie, 54, seeking damages of more than $25,000 for physical injury, mental anguish, and emotional distress. Let me take a peek. That could be anything. That might not even be a rat's foot. That's pretty big. That's like a whole goddamn werewolf paw. It's good luck. It's good for you. Howie said he was talking with 2 dinner companions and not really looking at the soup he ate when he felt something sharp stab his cheek. Ooh. He quickly spat the object out into his napkin. When he looked inside the napkin, he saw what appeared to be the fur-covered foot of a rat, complete with claws. Oh, God. Scrumptious. That's like something you'd find at Burger King. This would be something Burger King would serve you with a smile on their face, and this would probably be better than half their menu. Howie informed Olive Garden management, who says they did not take the matter seriously. One employee even joked about it, implying that Howie had placed the rat foot in the soup himself. This man must have brought a rat foot in here to frame us. I'm sure it's happened at some point, but I feel like it's not that common. The lack of concern displayed by Olive Garden employees led Howie to call the police. Warren police interviewed Howie, his friends, and several employees, and the police report described the object as a rat foot that appeared to have been chewed. Ooh. That's a crucial piece of evidence. Bite marks. The rat foot allegedly cut the inside of Howie's cheek, causing him to bleed and later seek medical treatment at an urgent care in Warner. He received a tetanus shot and was prescribed antibiotics. Health department visited the restaurant and determined there was no evidence of rodents in the facility. MCHD also noted that Olive Garden's pest control provider conducted a regularly scheduled service at the restaurant on March 11th, the same date as the alleged incident, and there were no pests observed in the report. We have no reason to believe there is any validity to this claim. He totally did it himself. It's possible. It is certainly possible. The photo of the foot shows no signs that it underwent a cooking process, nor does it show any signs of taking on any red color consistent with the red base of the minestrone. The foot is significantly larger than our soup spoons and would be difficult for someone to unknowingly insert in their mouth. The guest and his attorney have refused our repeated requests to provide us with the foot so we can have it forensically examined to determine what species it is. Since the incident, Howie has suffered a loss of appetite and an aversion to meat, fear of eating at restaurants, nausea, trouble sleeping, and increased depression. Well, this was all fake. This was absolutely a scam. Planted. Case closed. They won't even turn over the foot. They still have the foot and won't give it to them to forensically examine. Liar. That's case closed. That is crazy, though, if he started biting on the foot himself, though. He's like, all right, I'm doing it. I'm gonna get 50 grand out of this. I swear to God. I'll eat a rat's foot. It happened decades ago at Wendy's. The lady put a severed human thumb in her chili for a payday. What? Police identified severed finger in a Wendy's chili case. Wendy's chili finger lady comes clean. She could only keep quiet for so long. The scam drew international headlines and made millions of people think twice about ordering a cup of chili from Wendy's. Now the woman at the center of the chili finger case is talking about the infamous finger food crime. So this one is a confirmed hoax. In 2005, Anna Ayala was dining at a San Jose Wendy's restaurant when she claimed she chomped down on a partially cooked segment of a human finger. The fast food chain suffered an estimated $21 million in lost business. How do you calculate that? Do you do like an exit survey to your regulars? Like, hey guys, why aren't you ordering the chili anymore? Seems like such a hard thing to quantify. Her husband, Jamie Placencia, got the severed finger from a coworker who lost it in an industrial accident. At least it was ethically sourced. He didn't cut the finger off himself. He went to someone who had already lost it and kept it as a souvenir, I guess on like a keychain or something. Both Ayala and Placencia pleaded guilty. A was sentenced to 9 years in prison but was released after 4 years on good behavior. There's one condition to her release. She's not allowed to step foot back in the place that made her famous. A life without Wendy's, is that even a life worth living? She'd been out of prison for about a year and living in San Jose, but until now she's kept quiet. Placencia is still serving time for his role in the scam. A is coming clean now. In an exclusive interview with CBS 5 this week, she apologized and revealed a deep secret. I cooked it. So hype. As if that was even up for debate. Obviously, Wendy's didn't fucking cook it. During the interview, she said she prepared the piece of ring finger at her Las Vegas home, then drove it to San Jose where she dropped it in the chili. A told reporters, other prisoners, and even guards ridiculed her and called her names because of the scam that landed her behind bars. I learned my lesson. I just want to move on with my life. Don't let anyone tell you a little ridicule doesn't work. I imagine the jail time also certainly helped her learn that lesson, but, you know, let's not discount the efficacy of calling her mean names. Calling her stupid. What's going on, drama enthusiasts? It's me again, Dr. Deep Throat, here to swallow the entire load of drama this week because this shit has been hot. Not just with YouTubers arguing with each other and being upset, but also there's been some signs of war in the chess community that I've been paying very close attention to. It's been wild. But for this video, I'm going to focus on H3H3 and Keem drama because that is the one that most people are dedicating their lives to at the moment, literally putting their lives on the line, ready to lay it all down for the sake of defending their YouTubers. It's been pretty extreme. I mean, you could go to the best steakhouse in the world and not find beef like this. This is some USDA prime internet beef. And 2 days ago, I made a video talking about it and joking about it, mainly just giving my perspective on what could happen in terms of why it could be dangerous for the platform. And since then, my shit has been twisted more times than cotton candy being made. I don't know if maybe I didn't frame what I was saying correctly, or if people are just blatantly trying to twist what I was saying, but I figured I should at least defend myself and explain it a little bit better, especially following Ethan's nuclear fallout video. To start off, it's not like Ethan and I are on bad terms. There's no bad blood between us. We've talked in DMs. He even agrees with my main point. And we're not like enemies or anything at all. I feel like on the internet, as soon as someone disagrees with someone else, the internet's perception is they have to hate each other. And even other YouTubers feel that way. But for most adults, you can disagree with someone. Not every friend that you're going to have is going to be a sycophant that's just going to be a yes man and agree with everything. So it's not like Ethan crossed his arms and was pouting like, Charlie, we were friends until you had a different opinion than I did. That's not how it happened. He was understanding and, like I said, agreed with my main point. I'll explain my main point again. My main point was never we shouldn't hold people accountable and sponsors are some sacred, untouchable thing. My point is, by making it a common thing, it hurts everyone on the internet, not just with sponsors, but anything. And not to hit you with the old wiggle finger and an I told you so, but within the last 3 days since the first content nuke, Keem has lost the G Fuel sponsorship, which you well know, but Ethan's also lost his Old Spice sponsorship, mainly because people in Keemstar's fanbase on Twitter spearheaded this attack on Ethan's sponsors, and Old Spice caved almost immediately, and that was fueled because Keemstar would constantly retweet them saying, please don't do this. And once that genie's out of the bottle, everyone's gonna hop in. You can't just put that shit back in, you can't just put a cork in that wiener hole and get the genie back in there. Now that people know it's effective, they keep doing it. So Keem retweeting, don't do this. I didn't condone attacking his sponsors, as he's retweeting the person who's organizing it, attacking Ethan's sponsors. Well, it led to more people attacking his sponsors, and Ethan lost Old Spice. It also happened to another YouTuber named Gundam, where a popular streamer named Pokimane mentioned his sponsor, and a lot of her people attacked his sponsor, and he lost his sponsor deal there. So it is becoming something of an epidemic. Something that I said is bad for the whole platform, and not just with sponsors. It's something anyone on the internet can do, and it's something that's happening right now. There's a massive thread on 4chan that's constantly growing with people targeting big YouTubers and targeting their ads. It's basically a fucking hit list, the main three being Philip DeFranco, iDubbbz, and H3, and they're trying to prove how much power the people have over these YouTubers they don't like's lives. And that's the point I was making in my initial video. When you show this group of people, these bad actors, how much power they can have by just getting enough of them together to go to an advertiser for someone they don't like, it's a disaster for everyone on the internet, because it's not just sponsors. They can do it to Patreon, they can do it to PayPal or AdSense, they can do it anywhere. All it takes is enough people with this same narrative, like this guy is a bad person, to have them dropped. I couldn't decide if even talking about this was the right move, since, as a couple other people pointed out, even mentioning it leads way to a few assholes doing it just for shits and giggles, but ultimately I feel like most people are justifying how it happened because it was Keemstar, and then some people don't like Ethan, so they justified it against Ethan. But I think it's just overwhelmingly negative no matter what, because even if you're using it against people you don't like right now, it sets the precedent where anyone can use it against anybody, and it just becomes a very common tool that eventually leads to a lot of innocent people being hurt. So I felt it was important to at least make people aware of just how dangerous it is to go down this path. Now, maybe I didn't frame this argument correctly in my initial video and my point wasn't clear, because a lot of people seem to think that I was just absolving Keemstar of his sins, just throwing, holy water and blessing him with a pass because he didn't attack sponsors like Ethan. Like, yeah, Keemstar can be an asshole, but this is what Ethan did, as if I was just excusing everything Keemstar did that was bad, which I wasn't doing. I was just highlighting what I thought was a bad thing that came from this situation. And ultimately what ended up happening is Keemstar, it turns out, was also attacking sponsors well before anyone else. In Ethan's follow-up video, he pointed that out. And of course, people were acting like I was supposed to be omniscient and know everything about Keemstar's past, from his fucking SAT scores to the first time he went trick-or-treating as a child. I just didn't know that until Ethan pointed it out. I didn't leave it out on purpose. So yes, Keemstar was attacking sponsors well before any of this happened, and just because he was first doesn't mean that it's okay to do it now. It doesn't make it right. It's still bad. It's bad that Keemstar did it. It's fucked up. And it's fucked up that it's happening now. Now, Ethan himself is not on the side of attacking sponsors, as he makes clear in the follow-up video he makes. And honestly, at this point, I get the impression Ethan didn't even mean to start something like this. I think maybe he was just making jokes about G Fuel just for some jabs at Keemstar for fun that kind of got out of control, and especially on a subreddit, getting out of control as well, taking it to extremes that now 4chan is taking to, and Twitter as well. There was a dude on Twitter that admitted to committing a fucking crime. After Ethan was dropped by Old Spice, there was a vigilante who took down Old Spice and was holding the website hostage until they made a public statement bringing Ethan back. So shit's just getting out of control, which is exactly what I was saying I was worried about happening. That was the precedent I was worried about. In fact, it's gone worse than I thought. I thought it was always going to have to be a YouTuber coordinating it. But what's happening is just Discord groups of people on 4chan, and just groups of people on Twitter are coordinating with each other to attack the brands of YouTubers that they don't like. And from what I've seen, and I've seen quite a few screenshots of this going on, they're not even presenting evidence. They're just saying nasty things about the YouTuber and saying why it's hurting their brand. And it's working. As we just saw with Ethan, they weren't even presenting any evidence. They were just saying bad things, and they dropped them. Because the companies aren't looking at evidence. They don't have like a department of drama super sleuths that are going to go through every video to make sure it's legitimate proof that this person is bad. They're just getting an influx of these really heinous emails saying that the person they're sponsoring is bad, and they're just dropping them on the spot because to them, it's safer that way. And that's why it is such a big problem. It is something that can happen to people that don't deserve it. Innocent people that maybe just a group of people don't like their content. To defend myself, a lot of people said I only cared about my own sponsors. Like, oh, I see where Charlie's priorities lie. All he cares about is his own sponsor money, which I think is super fucked up because I don't use sponsors. The only things that I ever have sponsors on are the Moist Meter and the podcast. All of my personal content I don't have sponsors for, and the reason I have sponsors for the other two is because those are my friends. That's a whole team putting those productions together. That's supporting multiple people. The majority of my income comes from Twitch, from streaming on Twitch and the generosity of the community. And I mean, I fucking make videos with dildo trick shots, which occasionally Adam and Eve ask if they can sponsor, and I say yes to that, but that's the only piece of personal content I ever have a sponsor on. So it's not like I have a horse in this race where I'm trying to protect my own group of sponsors. It's simply I'm worried about what happens in the future on YouTube, because if this continues to be the norm, companies are just going to stop sponsoring these channels, and a lot of channels that I like to watch are high production channels that need someone like a sponsor to pay for the production costs to put on. But if these companies start to learn like shit, no matter who we sponsor on YouTube, we're still getting a little PR nightmare on Twitter, it's not worth it. They're just not going to sponsor those people or sponsor this platform anymore on an individual level. So that's why I was talking about it. I also can't believe I even have to say this, but obviously the tactic as a whole isn't some brand new genius creation of going after sponsors. It's something that's been done for a long time, just not on a YouTuber personal level. This was, well, with Keemstar apparently being first, this was the first time we've seen it being this effective and now this widespread. That's what I was saying. While as an idea, it's not the most, genius thing ever. It doesn't take some supervillain mastermind to come up with the idea of, wait, What if I just said some mean shit about this guy to his sponsor? Like, that doesn't take the smartest person in the world to think of that. That's not new. But seeing it actually employed on a YouTuber individual level is something that is new, and now seems to be something very effective that's spiraling out of control, where it's not YouTubers doing it, now it's just people even unassociated with both groups doing it just to fuck people up. That's what I'm saying is new. And to get even bigger brain scheme here, to see even into a deeper dystopian future, I'll go ahead and speculate. A lot of these people are younger. I'm going to go out on a limb and say the majority of people doing this and reporting this, acting like some kind of fucking Batman of the internet, I'd say they're like 15, 16 years old. These are young people. As they get older and they see that what they're doing has a huge effect on people's lives, they might employ this tactic outside of the internet into the real world, where, you know, maybe they have a disagreement with someone on the internet and they take it to their actual job and they get that person to have ramifications for something they just disagreed with on the internet. And we've seen that from, like I said, middle-aged Karens reporting Twitter people to their employer and getting them fired. So if we're teaching people that are this young that this kind of shit is effective at hurting someone you don't like, they might take that even further, even outside of the internet. That's very speculative and very well could not happen, but like I said, this can have far-reaching consequences like that, because these are people that are still learning, they're still developing. These are young minds that are forming, they're like a sponge absorbing all kinds of shitty internet memes and ideas. So if they're learning that, hey, this person I don't like is getting fucked because of this, I'm gonna start using this on other people I don't like. It could be bad, even outside of just internet shit. And that's what I wanted to talk about, why it is so bad if you go after people's sponsors or just general livelihood, because it's a very slippery slope, and I know a lot of people hate that term, but it really fucking is, because these companies aren't looking at evidence. They're looking at numbers. These companies aren't like, shit, we have to keep up with the latest drama with our clients. All right, let's get the HR department on this. Look at all these 9 exposed videos. We have to make sure they're legitimate. That's not what they're doing. What they're doing is they're looking at, holy shit, look at all of these emails telling us that this person is bad. Must be bad, we're dropping them. It is not worth the disaster we're having here. They're just looking at numbers. There's a lot of complaints. They're saying, fuck it, not worth it, they're gone. That's how it's working, and that's why it's bad, because it doesn't even need to be a bad person. Anyone can coordinate that shit, and it leads to a disaster. That's the point I was making. Alright, that's about it. See ya. I thought it was appropriate to do a little drama follow-up and update to a few stories I've covered over the last few days now that they've begun to settle down a bit and the smoke has started to clear. So this will be the little after credits scene to a movie to give you closure. The first one being the clown YouTuber that violated the Geneva Convention of the Internet and committed the unforgivable war crime of abusing YouTube's copyright takedown system and strike system in order to bully creators that were making fun of him. Now, normally I'd call someone like this a mustache-twirling evil supervillain, but that just doesn't apply here, because I'm pretty sure this guy couldn't grow a single fucking molecule of facial hair if he was given 1,000 years in the wilderness surviving off nothing but bear liver. It's just not in his DNA. His name is Brent Rivera. He's a massive channel. Unfortunately, he was born with glass bones and paper skin, so when people started making fun of him, those words cut deeper than Excalibur ever could. So he turned to his team and looked for a solution, and what they suggested was the nuclear option of filing takedown requests and copyright claims on people that were being mean to him, that were kicking sand in his face on YouTube and ruining his reputation at the middle school lunch tables. Now, this isn't one of those like silly, trivial, oops-a-daisy moments that people just forgive and forget as if it never mattered. This is a very well understood, severe thing that can legitimately ruin someone's career based on nothing other than hurt feelings. It's also illegal what Brent Rivera did, which is knowingly filing bogus takedown requests and copyright claims. That's not exactly allowed. So he used this option against some people that were making videos that weren't positive about him, and one of the most vocal victims was a channel named Dumpy. Dumpy fought back very hard against what had happened because his channel was at risk of being taken away from him because he had hurt this asshole's feelings. Now, the situation was YouTube actually sided with Dumpy and they weren't going to take down the videos, but they did end up taking down one piece of content, which is still alarming, and the future of his channel was, of course, in a pretty scary spot, not knowing what Brent Rivera would do next, like would he double down on it and try and go even harder, so he was rightfully upset and concerned. And now it's been 2 days since then, and Dumpy has posted a follow-up video where he went over the whole situation and actually showed a DM that Brent Rivera sent to him, which claims that he will be releasing all of the copyright notices on his channel, and then even says that he applauds him for grinding and putting in the work to make a career on YouTube. It's something that a lot of people are scared to do, but you have proven otherwise. I wish you all the success on YouTube and your career, bro. Hope he can resolve this. He also says that he won't be taking down any of his future videos if he makes them, and I hope that extends to everyone who has made videos about you, Brent, not just Dumpy being the biggest one. That should be a no-brainer that people are allowed to criticize you and make videos talking about your content without fear of you coming in and trying to snatch their entire fucking channel away because your feelings got hurt. So hopefully it's not just Dumpy that you're doing this for. But I do want to mention that second paragraph where he talks about, like, Dumpy's grind and how he's, like, proud of it, happy to see it, and, you know, wishing him nothing but the best in it. To me, that just reads very insincere and phony. That seems like very corporate PR speak, because his whole grind and everything you had a huge issue with because it was at your expense. So why are you going to pretend like you actually really appreciate it and admire it? Like, just be honest. Like, it just doesn't seem honest at all. There's no reason to put up a facade. You can just be like, bro, your videos fucking hurt my feelings. I overreacted. Yeah, is what it is. I'm releasing it now. I see this as a big fuck up, a big blunder. And that'd be a lot more respectable than trying to put on this, like, bro, you're a fucking grinder. You're out there nuts to butts and you're doing it big. That shit is so fucking lit. And I know you're going to keep doing big things. I am so proud of you, actually. I'm so fucking proud of you. Patting him on the ass. Like, that's just, it's not genuine. Like, and there's just no reason to even pretend to be. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Brent really did love it. You know, I couldn't tell you. I just, it doesn't seem that way. But that's not where that ends, because when Dumpy posted this video going over all of it, Brent went into the comment section to do a super thanks. And this is probably a feature none of you know about. I don't have it turned on for my channel, but it is something that exists on the platform where you can just directly donate to a creator in their comment section and it highlights your message. Brent used that feature and donated $400 to Dumpy and said this. In the meantime, while the copyright request is being retracted, here's something to help, smiley face. Again, sorry about that, bro. So he's putting an apology on the back of $400 here. Dumpy did reply to this. He didn't really accept the apology, and then also mentioned that he still has active copyrights against other creators that he's aware of. Which, you know, I think Dumpy is well within his right to not accept that apology, because, you know, it's you almost took away his entire fucking career because he hurt your feelings. There's not really a whole lot you can do to make Dumpy like you or just, like, forgive that. It's just a matter of moving on from it. You are doing the right thing, which everyone will appreciate. You are walking back on this bullshit here with these takedown requests. That is good. But I just don't think there's a whole lot you can do to earn anyone's trust back or view you positively. It's something that you'll have to prove over a long period of time if you actually learned anything from this whole situation. He says that him and his team responded too emotionally to it, which he's absolutely right on, but this is an option that should have never been considered in the first place, obviously. So yeah, that's kind of the update here. He is retracting the copyright takedowns and the claims and whatever, so that is great. Though his image is still ruined as a result of all of it, but big appreciation for doing the right thing. So that's always good. Now moving on to the next one that I'd like to give an update on. It's my least favorite Twitch streamer. This was a Polish woman who was streaming while driving, and while looking at her phone, because she was distracted driving and just looking at her fucking phone while driving, she ran over someone's dog. It is an absolutely awful video to sit through. It is fucking painful to listen to. It was very, very sad. This absolute imbecile even mentioned that there were a lot of dogs around near the road, and then got a notification on her phone from Twitch chat, so she went down to just fucking stare at Twitch chat for a very long time, and then just blasts one of the dogs. I was under the impression, as most people were, that the animal didn't make it, especially judging by the sounds that it was making and just the speed that this girl was driving. Like, this was like some Fast and Furious shit. She was like fucking drifting around. I'm exaggerating, but she was going very fast. But apparently, the dog is okay. Pyrocynical made a video on this and actually did a very thorough deep dive, finding some very interesting sources to follow up on what happened, because this took off on Polish social media. Like, it went big in the Polish community. And according to some pretty seemingly reliable sources, the dog is okay. The dog is fine and it will recover fine. which is miraculous. This dog is made out of pure fucking adamantium. Took a hit from a speeding vehicle and then is walking it off, just rubbing some dirt in it, and is going to be okay, apparently, which is a fantastic thing to hear. That is great news from this awful situation, but it in no way excuses this streamer. I still think she needs to face legal ramifications for what she's done. I have absolutely no sympathy for any distracted driving whatsoever, whether it be drunk driving, texting and driving, fucking reading Twitch chat thoroughly while driving like she's trying to fucking spell check some assignment, just literally staring at chat more than she's looking at the road. I have no forgiveness for that kind of shit. She should absolutely lose her license at the very least, but I am happy to learn that the dog is okay from this incident, assuming all of the information Pyrocynical has put out there is accurate, and it does seem accurate from everything I've seen. So I just wanted to give that follow-up. That's like actually a nice happy ending there. The best ending would be dog is fine, and also the girl gets punished heavily for this whole situation. That'd be optimal, but right now I'll settle for the dog being okay. So yeah, I just wanted to give these two little quick follow-ups to these stories that I recently talked about, since more came about from them. And that's really about it. So yeah. What's up, everybody? It's Critical. This is something I've never done before, because I don't like to be a part of drama, I don't like to address it or anything like that, it's just not what I'm about, but this actually made me super upset. I'm sure a lot of you know about this situation. So this Nicholas guy posted a video talking about his experience with some big YouTubers. He made an animation, they put it on their channel. He felt he didn't receive proper credit or the terms weren't met, whatever. Most of the controversy is surrounding Nicholas and the Syndicate Project. But the way the Syndicate Project is handling the situation is absolutely disgusting. Nicholas's video is pretty professional. He didn't call him a liar, he didn't call him a scumbag, he didn't insult him in any way. And then the Syndicate Project goes on this stream with this fucking slob there named Keemstar who's just shoving popcorn in his fucking face. And they're just insulting the guy, relentlessly laying into this guy. He's not even there to defend himself, and they're just personally attacking this man. The fucking Syndicate Project goes in there, "Oh, he's just looking for attention because I'm the most popular guy in the whole fucking world. I get pussy. I'll fight anyone that says otherwise. He's a fucking liar. I hate him. Oh, if I saw him right now, I'd jerk him off so hard the skin on his penis would come off. Then I'd slap him in the face." Keemstar can barely fucking speak, but he's trying his best. Sky Williams is in the call, but he's actually being pretty nice about it. He's just laying out the facts. But listen to Keemstar. Just listen to this shit.
My girlfriend? Yes, it's the same fucking guy. I've literally doxed this dude and put his personal information out 100 times. It is.
So now this homunculus is bragging about how he doxed and gave away the personal info of a guy named the Futuristic Hub. I don't know about that drama. So yeah, then this man baby just goes on to brag about how he's a hero and fighting the good fight because he doxed and leaked the personal info of a man who didn't want it out there. And then he goes back to eating popcorn because, I mean, what else is he gonna do? And then they have the audacity to call Nicholas a coward for not joining this call. I think it's pretty clear why he wouldn't join the call. I'm pretty sure he's aware that if he joined this call, he would just get bullied by these two assholes. I exclude Sky Williams because, although he's on the Syndicate Project side, he's not being really rude. Now, I don't know who Keemstar, the Syndicate Project are. I'm guessing they're big YouTube names. I don't know. I don't pay attention to other YouTubers or pretty much anything on YouTube. But the way they conduct themselves is just abhorrent. So, in response to all this controversy and drama, the Syndicate Project made his own response. And he comes across as a massive douchebag in this. It is just unfathomable to think that the Syndicate Project would make this, review it, and be like, yep, this is a good response to the whole thing, and then post it. It is abysmal. Horrible. It decreased my sperm count just watching it. Now, on Nicholas's side, he at least does a good job of showing, hey, I'm telling the truth, look, here's all this stuff, and here's the evidence to back up my claims, whereas the Syndicate Project just kind of bullies him. Oh no, you're full of shit. Oh, this is why you shouldn't do drugs, everyone. And whatever other mean tweets he had about the whole situation. Now, I'm not sure who's exactly correct on this whole thing, or who's telling the truth and who's not, but that's not the point. The point I'm making is that the Syndicate Project is handling this like a real dickhead. A real bag of penises. An entire vase of cocks. And Keemstar, this goofy fucking thing he's just an absolute asshole. He was talking about how the Syndicate Project should ruin Nicholas's life over this matter. Wow, buddy. That's real great, man. If this is a big YouTuber, I hope no one looks up to him, because he sets a horrible example from the things he was saying here. Now back to the reason I made this video, not trying to prove which side is right or wrong in this matter, just wanted to show the discrepancy between the way Nicholas handles it and the way the Syndicate Project handles it, and how unacceptable the Syndicate Project's behavior was during this. Now I know I didn't exactly handle things in the most professional way or say the nicest things about the situation, especially when addressing Keemstar, but this is something that really shouldn't have been so controversial, and definitely shouldn't have had Keemstar saying ruin his life over it. That's just barbaric, absolutely ridiculous, and Keemstar should be ashamed of himself. I can only hope he's not that type of person, and he just said something stupid in the heat of the moment. Now, I don't know anything about the Syndicate Project, what he does, what he makes, and I have no desire to anymore after this whole thing, but I know he must be a big name since his controversy is actual news, for some reason, so I have no doubt in my mind that people look up to that guy. And right now the message he's sending all of them is, hey guys, it's okay to bully someone, vehemently assault someone, as long as you think they're wrong. And that's just not a good message to send. That's not right. That is not what he should be trying to tell the people that look up to him. In all honesty, I didn't finish this stream. I just couldn't sit through the whole thing. It was just way too hard to sit through. So maybe Nicholas went in there and everything got squared away, everyone's happy, but that doesn't matter. That's great, everyone's happy, but the way they handled it getting up to that point, assuming that even happened, was just mean and wrong. Now I know, no doubt this video will make me a target for the Syndicate Project and Keemstar and whoever else, but I felt really passionately about this, that they handled it like bullies in a really mean and rude way. So I wanted to make this. This is my first time talking about YouTube drama. Woohoo! And yeah, that's about it. See ya. I haven't been going on Twitter that much recently. I've been a good Christian boy abiding the 10 Commandments. However, today I had a bit of a relapse. It was a sinful afternoon for me. I fell off the wagon, and I got caught with my cock in hand and perusing the drama that was going on today on Twitter. I stuck my hand in the cookie jar, and instead of cookies, I got shit. Now, the first topic I've seen everyone discussing is the Matthew Stafford situation. Matthew Stafford being the Super Bowl winning quarterback for the Rams. At a celebration yesterday, a photographer lost her footing and fell off a stage right in front of him, and she fractured her spine. And the video of the incident hit Twitter, and people were really upset with how Stafford handled it. Or, he didn't really handle it, and that's what people took issue with. He didn't do anything. They were upset with his reaction to all of it, or lack thereof. I'll show you the clip, and there's nothing graphic there, so don't worry about that. This isn't going to be like a scene out of the new Halloween movie where even just stumbling off your bed led to people just like fucking exploding in gore, like fingers and, you know, spines being ripped out of their body, Mortal Kombat style. It's nothing like that. Yeah, two drastically different responses here from his wife and him. His response is to turn around and drink some water. Hers was the more normal human reaction of shock and seeing if the person is alright. And people went wild after this video hit the online cyberspace. It got wild. It got a bit goofy, and dare I say it, it even got slightly wacky. People were doing their best to defend Stafford here by saying, what's he supposed to do? He's not a medical professional. You know, you can't expect him to jump off the stage and help the woman or anything like that. Then they keep bringing up, you can't touch an injured person or else they can sue you. You're liable for their injuries at that point, so it's best just to avoid the situation and walk away altogether. And just a lot of arguments in bad faith. Another one I kept seeing pop up is, you can't touch a woman or else you're going to go to jail for sexual assault. Stafford did the safest thing here. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? No one was saying they expected Stafford to dive off stage and miraculously heal this woman, you know, like a fucking glistening beam from the heaven as the Lord blesses Matthew Stafford with not only incredible quarterback abilities, but also the fucking healing jutsu to fix her spine. They didn't expect him to start giving her mouth-to-mouth, put her spine back the way it's supposed to be, and then, you know, send her on her way. No one expected that. But the normal human reaction is to at least check if the person is okay. Immediately upon her falling, he just walked away. And this stage is massive. I don't know why the fuck the stage is this high. This is like fucking 20 feet in the air. It's like the scene in 300 where the guy gets kicked into the pit. This is Sparta style. This shit is higher than the cliff in The Lion King when Simba gets held up in front of the entire community. It is fucking wild how high in the air this shit is. So, obviously with someone falling off there, you'd be a little scared for their health, right? Which is exactly what his wife did. His wife was like, whoa, and then just went over and checked on him. You didn't see his wife climb off stage and start administering medical aid to her or anything, but she at least had the courtesy to go at least see if she was okay, which is just what most people would have expected Stafford or anyone in this situation to do. And I've seen a ton of copium from people making up their own fanfics like, oh, actually what happened is Stafford immediately charged the experts in order to alert them to the situation, which is why he turned around, because he was going to get professional help, get the experts out there to get her the optimal care as quickly as possible. Or actually he told his wife to go handle it, which you can see in the clip he doesn't. It's not like he says anything to his wife beyond like, whoa, or holy shit, oh my god. He doesn't like tell his wife anything. His wife just also happened to see it unfold, and then he starts chugging water as if nothing's happening. It's not like you can see him really go get help or do anything besides just leave. His wife immediately goes over there without ever communicating with Stafford. It's not like he gave her some kind of SEAL Team 6 sign language that lets her know that it's time to go over there and help. He just leaves. If no one else saw this happen besides Stafford, do you think he still would have turned around and ignored it and just let the woman lie there with a fractured spine in agony? I wonder. I have no idea. I think maybe he just thought everyone saw it, so he's like, there's nothing I need to do. I'll just go ahead and do something else. Or maybe all of the years spent on the Lions truly did turn him into a jaded man. He was condemned to that godforsaken Lions squad, forced to never be actually Super Bowl viable, and maybe it just got to him. Now he just has nothing but resentment for the rest of the human race and doesn't care when someone gets injured in front of him. I mean, I really do think probably he just assumed everyone else saw it, so he didn't need to act, would be my guess. But even still, just having the courtesy of at least checking on someone that might be injured is what most people expect, which is why everyone was upset about it. It's not that deep. No one was expecting anything beyond that. They weren't expecting to be some kind of superhero miracle worker or this benevolent deity that can somehow do spinal surgery on the fly or anything. They just expected him to care a little bit, or at least look like it. And at the very least, the Rams and Stafford, by extension, will be paying for all of that woman's medical bills and covering that, as well as, I believe, reimbursing her for the broken cameras that she experienced from the fall. So that is very nice of them to reach out and do that, so I think most people can appreciate it. But the whole controversy is just Matthew Stafford didn't seem to care at all. No one expected anything beyond what his wife did, which was just going over and seeing if everything was okay. I don't know why so many people have been cosplaying as Stafford's PR manager. They're literally just working for him for free, just sucking his dick online by trying to argue against points that no one's making against him. Again, no one was saying Matthew Stafford needed to somehow reach out and stop her from falling, or when she did fall, give his life for hers and save her spine somehow. All people expected was just like a little more caring of a reaction besides turning away and walking away drinking water. That's it. That's all people are saying is like, hey, it's a pretty weird reaction to a potential, like that could have been a fatal fall. That was an extremely long fall, straight down, and it just didn't seem like he gave a fuck at all, which is why people were upset about it. And that it doesn't go deeper than that, so I don't know why people keep making up these arguments to things that were never discussed in the first place. Now this next drama topic is one that really hits close to home for me. This one's a real whopper. A professional gamer and esports athlete named Tanu Kana made statements saying that men under 170 centimeters don't have human rights, and she was released from her organization, Cyclops Athlete Gaming, and they had a lot of huge sponsors. She had a lot of huge sponsors, all of which she now no longer has access to. And a lot of it's credited to this statement where she's saying short men don't deserve human rights. Now, as a short man standing at 5'6", when I first read this, I was outraged. I grabbed my step stool and climbed up to reach the pitchfork on top of my toolbox, and I was ready to hit the streets and riot. I was very upset. But then I read a bit more on it, and then she said short men should just get leg lengthening surgery to be taller so that way they stop being short, and I was like, fuck, genius! It's a galaxy brain solution! Finally! I didn't even consider that. Now, a lot of people have pointed out that she was probably trying to make a joke, and I agree it sounds like she was going for a joke, and it just didn't land. And keep in mind, she is a Japanese esports athlete, so there is some things that just don't properly translate. However, after this article got posted, a lot of people, Japanese fans, actually made posts talking about her controversial statements in the past that extend far beyond just this short man don't deserve rights thing. And it's pretty fucked up if it's true. Of course, I don't speak the language, so I can't confirm any of these things, but it's been going all around Twitter that it's not just this statement about short men, but a history of really hateful opinions that she has about a lot of different things and people. After being dropped from her organization, she's lost all of her sponsors, obviously, and she has issued a statement saying that she wasn't trying to be hateful. However, if all of these allegations are true, there's clearly a track record of harboring like pretty fucked up opinions that don't really seem like they're supposed to be jokes. And admittedly, short men don't deserve rights, they should just get leg lengthening surgery doesn't sound like a great joke in the first place. It's just kind of fucking weird. Like, imagine if a professional League of Legends player, or even just like a professional athlete in general, goes on stream or during a conference, like an after game report, and just says some shit like, yeah, women with small titties just aren't even real humans to me. I think they should all get boob jobs in order to get fatter fucking milkers that I can honk and squeeze on. Otherwise, if those boobies are too small, they just don't even deserve to be able to have rights. Most people would be like, huh, kind of fucking weird. That's kind of a weird little joke you're trying to make. And that's the impression I get here, but I do think there is a chance that since there is a language barrier, things may have just not been translated properly. But anyway, this was another massive drama topic today that I was really reading a lot about, so I just wanted to talk about these two things since I did relapse and go on a Twitter binge. That's about it. See ya. When it comes to the wonderful world of cinema, there's only one universal truth, that The Mummy with Brendan Fraser is the best movie to ever hit the big screen. Aside from that, shit's wild. People have all types of different perspectives and opinions on movies, as well they should. However, there's one very incorrect opinion on movies, that they can't have a good villain, where if your villain isn't just like a comical mustache-twirling bad Dr. Robotnik, then your villain is problematic and a plague on society. Not a new movement or anything, but with the new Joker movie, this whole perspective has been cranked up to the 10th level, engaging deep space turbo hyperdrive shit. People are outraged about the Joker being a well-designed villain and the protagonist of the movie. This is something we've talked about on the podcast, but I keep getting emails about it and being asked about it during streams at twitch.tv/moistcritical, and I thought, fuck it, I'll make a video talking about it, because I do feel kind of passionately about this. I like when a movie does something different. Having a villain as a protagonist, it's not different. Shit happens all the time. That's a very common thing. But for some reason, in this case, it's totally different, because now it's the Joker. It's too extreme now. The Joker's gonna unite all the incels together, forming like a Voltron force of pure virgin weird energy. These incels are gonna watch Joker and be inspired to stop sniffing Dorito powder with the lights off in their hentai masturbatorium, to go out in society and be degenerates. It's just such a fucking reach, and when I say people are outraged, it's mainly journalists, and journalist is a very generous term for what their profession is these days. At this point, they're basically just tweet compilers where they'll grab a random fucking tweet and write 2 sentences about it and slap it on an article. That's the whole goddamn thing. But we live in a society meme, unfortunately, where people can't separate fiction from reality. There's just this good chunk of people, the same chunk that argues video games cause violence, and if you play one violent video game, you're 60 times more likely to go down the street and slap someone's ass and call them a noob. It's this idea where you become what you interact with. You can't separate the fiction from yourself. When you watch a movie, you become the protagonist, you get inspired by the protagonist. For all intents and purposes, you are relating very hard to the character. So in this case, they feel the Joker being the villain here, a very bad villain, people are going to become that very bad villain because they're watching him on the screen. It's pretty sad how journalists think people as a whole are so fucking stupid that they shouldn't be allowed near anything negative because they might take it on themselves. And yes, I know people have been inspired by shit, including the Joker before, to do horrible things, but that's just psychopath people, outliers. People got inspired by fucking Slender Man to try and murder people. There's nothing you can do if someone is a psychopath and susceptible to something like that. You shouldn't just restrict the whole idea of presenting a villain that's well written. It's just very restrictive and just so fucking stupid, and it's insulting to culture as a whole. It's the same arguments people made over a decade ago where they were saying Marilyn Manson is the one who's causing people to worship the devil. If you play Marilyn Manson's music backwards, you can hear Satan farting on the track, and it's brainwashing the youth to have them kill themselves and commit heinous crimes in society. Get rid of Marilyn Manson quick. It's like they just want to wash away anything that's not fucking Paw Patrol and Finger Family videos. And people say this a lot. There used to be a time where if you didn't like something, you just say, hey, that wasn't for me. I'm not going to see that. I'm not going to promote it or anything like that. But that's never been a time in our history. Anytime someone doesn't like something, they rally very hard against it. Even a decade ago with GTA Vice City, there was a huge movement of mothers against GTA, where they'd say, this cannot happen, my son's gonna go out, steal cars, and fuck bitches all the time and commit crime. And they'd try and lobby to get GTA taken off the stores. It's always been there. It's always been a part of our society, where if you don't like something, it's not enough to just say, not for me, didn't like it, won't really be sharing it with anyone. It's always been, didn't like it, gotta go, censor it, get the fuck out of here. It's not allowed to be out there because I didn't like it. And I think that's the worst mentality to have. I think it's very important to say, I didn't like it, but I can see why people would like it, and they should have the option to see if it's something that's for them. Just wasn't for me. I wish it was more accepting in that capacity, but it's never been like that. And I don't know why people look on it like the glory days, where all of a sudden people were so accepting of, yeah, I didn't like it, that's fine, you can like it. That's never been the fucking case. I'd argue now that's more the case than it's ever been. But you see all of this, since everyone's so connected on Twitter and shit, you're constantly being shown these fringe media posts and people going really hard against something and lobbying really hard to get something taken down. So you see it more often, but I would say it's not as prevalent as an issue as it used to be, which is a great thing, I suppose. But the Joker one is a little different. This one's pretty fucking massive. And when I say most people, I am once again referring to like the same usual suspects, your fucking Vices and shit like that, writing these clickbaity pieces about why the Joker's going to be the one that leads to World War III, as if this fictional character has that kind of real-world implication possibility. It's just silly. It's fucking silly, and that is my perspective on the Joker drama. I think people need to be more ready to open themselves up to maybe something a little different. In this case, it's not even fucking different. It's just a villain as a main character. He just happens to be a pretty well-known villain and a pretty well-written villain. That's about it. See ya.